Wow, I don't even know if I'm in focus. Okay. Today, well, not today, over the next 28 days, and no, they're not consecutive days, so I'll be putting out like 1 or 2 videos a week. I'll be covering 28 plugins in 28 days. Before I start all this, I want to go over some basic synth terminology. Because I'm going to be talking about like Serum, Omnisphere, some retro synth, some other synths and Logic and some other cool stuff. So I think it's really important just to get all that boring shit out of the way, and then we can go into the fun stuff like Serum. So first thing is first, what are synthesizers? That's what a synth does. What we're doing when we're working with synthesizers is we're taking those sounds and manipulating them to sound different or to sound like what we want them to sound like. And there are a couple of ways we can do this. So first thing you have are your oscillators. You got sine oscillators, which sound like this, square, and then random shit that's just ridiculous. And then there are also like triangles, sawtooth, and all these other things, but I won't go into them at the moment. Your oscillator is what makes your sound, and that's going to be like your foundation for creating the sound you're working with. Most synths will have anywhere between 2 and 760 oscillators, but the average is about 2. Sometimes you'll only get 1, and sometimes you get 3. So now, once we have our sound, we want to start controlling how it comes in. This is called the envelope stage, and what we do with the envelope, the first thing we want to control is the attack. So a small attack sounds like this. So it's really good for like plucky sounds. It's really good for like things that hit hard, like a drum. And a soft attack. And that's really good for like strings and pads and that kind of thing. I'm going to skip over decay and sustain for a second and go straight to release. Release is pretty much what happens to the sound after you let go. Does it keep lingering on or does it just stop immediately? So in between those, we obviously have decay and sustain. Sustain is kind of like the level where you want it to go to while you hold the sound, and decay is how long it takes to get there. So, I mean, I'll just show you what this does. And again, you can just keep playing with this envelope as much as you want. You can do whatever you want with it and craft the sound that you really want. That's the beauty of synthesizers. They are there to craft whatever you want, and there's so much freedom and flexibility. Even if you just have a basic one, you can create some really, really incredible stuff. The next thing after the envelope are the LFOs. This stands for low frequency oscillator. And pretty much this is something that loops. So unlike an envelope, which only happens when you play the note, or it's only triggered when you play the note, LFOs are just consistently triggering. So this is what you can do with them. So, you know, they give you that like that wobble sound effect. Really, really, really good. If you're making dubstep or you're making anything with like glitchy noise, LFOs are where you're going to be using them. And then we got our filters, which is pretty much like an EQ, but just for synthesizers. So the filter, you know, you can get your like your low pass filter, your high pass filter, that kind of thing. And then you can also get these weird flangey filters, which really add a lot to your sound. And we can combine all of these synth basics to make a really cool sound. Now, obviously, different synths are going to have different functions, but these are kind of the standard functions across all of the synthesizers you're going to have. You're always going to have an oscillator. You're always going to have an envelope. Some other synthesizers are going to have other things and other features, and I'll talk about them when I get to those synths. But for now, these are the basics that you need to understand because I'm not going to cover them every time I open up a new synth. So that is my video on synth basics. Very, very short video, but there's honestly not much to it. The best way to understand and see how these things work is to actually practice with them and play with them. I'm going to be doing like 1 or 2 videos a week just covering different plugins like compressors, saturation, delay, reverb. So make sure you stay tuned for all those videos that are going to be coming up in the next few weeks. I really hope this video has helped you, and I will see you all very soon for another video. 28 days, 28 plugins. Let's do it. Yeah.